Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'll start today. Okay, I'll start now. Uh, okay. Today I'll be starting with the module, third module, unit 3. Okay, first and second module we did about the banking, the commercial banking basically. So what are the activities, what are the roles, functions, and what is the socio-economic importance of the banking, basically the commercial banking, which we encounter day to day in our life. So first two modules were about that. Starting from third module, we will go into the bit of financial services. Okay, not banking. So in third module, from third module onwards, you need to understand there are two separate major divisions. Okay, one is a commercial banking activity, which we did in first and second module. Second is investment banking activity. Okay, which comprises of investment banking and financial services both. Okay, so still people are joining. Hang on. I'll just wait for one more minute. Okay, ठीक है. Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay, so in this, the financial sector, okay, the financial sector comprises of the banking, which we did the commercial banking, and the next part it deals with the investment banking and the financial services. Okay, the basic banking or the commercial banking deals with the, deposits and loans and all those stuffs. The investment banking or the financial services deal with the bigger picture. They help the corporations in any kind of financial assistance, whether to raise capital, whether for a merger or acquisition case, or project counseling, or to raise money, or for an IPO, initial public offering, FPO, or anything related to capital markets, or related to even money markets. So whatever the organizations get involved into financial activities, the investment bankers or the financial services which they provide, they help these corporations. Okay, so these investment banks or the financial services, NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, they do not get involved in the process which commercial banking does. Like commercial banking is involved into deposits, taking of deposits. Investment banking don't take any deposits and give interest on that. Commercial banking give loans to the customers: a home loan, car loan, education loan, agriculture loan, personal loan, business loan. Investment banks don't do all those stuff. They don't give loans like the commercial banks. So they are involved in the advisory services, the consultants, or any issue related to capital markets. So they are the separate block in the financial sector. Okay, in the financial sector. So from third module onwards, apart from banking, what the other activities of investment bank they get into, that we are going to study. Okay, in this third module, we are going to start with the merchant banking. Okay, investment banking is a bigger picture, in that merchant banking is a major part. Again, not a small part of investment bank, but a major part of investment banking activity. So there will be, for example, yeah, ICICI, Kotak Mahindra, Federal Bank, and all those things. All those banks are part of commercial banks. Whereas JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Barclays, Citibank, Citibank has both commercial as well as investment banking. Then Morgan Stanley, then maybe Bank of New York Mellon, and Merrill Lynch, okay, the Bank of America, okay, United Bank of Switzerland. These are not commercial banks; they are investment banks. You cannot open up a bank account in a Morgan Stanley. Okay, Morgan Stanley is an investment bank, part of investment bank. Okay, investment bank, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. These are investment banks. They help the corporations to raise finance, to help in any financial activity. Okay, why these are required? First of all, is now you have a corporation. Okay, this is a kind of a factory. Okay, this factory maybe produces leather. Okay, they are manufacturers of leather. They don't know about how to raise capital, where to park their money, how to use their profits efficiently. If they want to invest somewhere, how much to invest, what are the kinds of financial instruments are there in the market which will provide them good returns, and according to their profitability, what is the better investment options for them. So they don't know this. What they know how to manufacture leather belts, leather watches, leather jackets, and other leather articles. They don't know anything about finance. Okay, so and they don't want to get into that as well. So these factories or these corporations, okay, and this factory which is manufacturing leather, they will concentrate only on leather manufacturing, and any kind of financial assistance, like any kind of financial assistance if they need, they will approach an investment bank. That financial assistance can be to raise capital. Okay, this company wants to expand and it wants capital, so they don't just go to the bank and get loan. Okay, if they want a loan also, they will approach investment bank to advise which bank is providing good loans, which or one bank, whether we should take loan from one bank or we should take a loan from a syndicate. I mean, a number of banks, 2-3 banks will be there. Which kind of loan, what will be the rules, what will be the documentation process, everything, all that. So they will take help of this investment bank. Or this leather company is a private limited company. Okay, so they want to make this company as a public limited company. Okay, private hai, they want to make this as public limited. Okay, so how the process of public to private? Achha, can anyone tell me how this company from private limited become public limited company? What that process is?
The IPO they will need.
Yeah, perfect. So IPO will be there to make this company from private to public limited. Who will take care of that IPO? This investment bank, because this company knows what they know to manufacture leather articles. They don't know about IPO. So this company will approach this investment bank for the process of IPO. So starting from the what do you say, the pre-issue memorandum of understanding, the first step, that is from the cradle. Okay, just the baby of an IPO is born. From cradle to grave, everything will be taken care by this investment bank. They don't get involved into that much. Okay, so this factory or this company will totally depend on investment bank for the entire process of IPO, and this investment bank will take care of everything. Okay, starting from documentation work to the allotment of securities to the shareholders. So in this investment bank, there is one branch called as merchant banking. Okay, this merchant banking will take care of the IPO. It will not go into any other raising of capital or any other stuff. It will only take care about the issue management or the IPO or FPO. Okay, so that we are going to study in this module. Merchant banking, okay, part of investment banking, which what are the categories, service offered, issue management. Issue management is what an IPO and FPO is all about. Then pre and post issue management, then issue pricing, how the pricing of a share is done. Okay, preparation of prospectus, Okay, the prospectus will consist of all the information about the company, the price, the customers, the suppliers, the future plans, the financial strength of the company, the marketing strength of the company, the goodwill, everything. And then the issue management. Again, it's a repetition. Then what is underwriting? Okay, fancy word. The meaning is very simple. We'll do that. Then private placement. Again, a fancy word. Meaning is very simple. Then book building process. This is the fixed price issue that we are going to discuss in this module. Pretty small module, but interesting one. Okay. So, have you understood what we are going to study in this? Any doubts till now? Okay. Okay. So I'll begin. Okay, so I'll begin with the module. Okay, first thing is, what is merchant bank? To get too much of information here, but basically it defines a merchant banker as any person who is engaged in the business of issue management. Okay, issue management, it's the process of an IPO or an FPO, either by making arrangement regarding buying, selling, or subscribing to the securities as manager, consultant, advisor, or rendering corporate advisory services in relation to such issue management. So basically, it can act as a seller of the securities, buyer of the securities, or subscribing to those securities as manager, consultant, advisor, not as the customer. Okay, so anything related to IPO and FPO, this person will be involved into that. So that is the definition as per the SEBI rules of 1992. Okay, so in this, there are a few categories, 5 categories of merchant bankers. Okay, first category deals with basically everything. Okay. Is anyone waiting or? Okay, there are 5 categories in this merchant bankers. First category deals with the what do you say, the cradle to grave wala category. Okay, they will act as everything: the advisor, consultant, co-managers, underwriters, portfolio managers. They will act as everything. So when a company wants to go for an IPO, they will approach the merchant bank, the investment bank, the part of which is merchant bank. They will approach the merchant bank, and that merchant bank will take care of everything. So that everything will come under the category 1. Okay, they will prepare the prospectus, they will tie up with the financial allotment of securities, everything. The second category, okay, they will act as the advisor, consultant, or co-manager, or underwriter, portfolio manager. So the second category will help. Yeah.
Sandra is waiting, and sir, you are sharing the PPT.
Yeah, you cannot see. Acha, you want my PPT afterwards? Yeah, I'll be sharing.
No, sir. Your PPT is not visible to us.
Not visible?
No, sir.
It's visible, so.
It's visible, sir.
Like,
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Sorry.
it's visible, but it is not on PPT mode.
yeah, it's not on a slideshow because I'll be fiddling with that. Because I need to go to Paint and also. But my screen is visible, Uma?
Yes, sir.
Even if it is not visible, I'm explaining everything. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay, chalo. So there are 5 categories in this, categories of merchant bankers. Category 1 deals with everything which the merchant banking activities involves. Okay? Acting as an advisor, consultant, co-manager, underwriters, portfolio managers. Category 2 deals with the advisory, consultant, underwriters, and portfolio managers. So category 2 will help the category 1, and category 2 will come. At the junior level. Similarly, with category 3 will come below that. Category 4 will come below that. Why these categories are defined is when there is a big issue, there is a big company, for example, Flipkart is a private limited company. Okay, now Flipkart wants itself to make it to convert it into public limited company. So Flipkart is a pretty big company. They have a huge market capitalization. So that kind of big company will not appoint one single investment bank. Okay, so they will be appointing many investment banks, and they will be doing different kind of works. So some investment bank, maybe Morgan Stanley, will be appointed as category 1. Okay, so they will take care of each and everything. Morgan Stanley will appoint maybe Barclays as category 2 investment bank. So the Barclays will only help them as the underwriter or portfolio manager. What are all these underwriter, portfolio manager? You just keep in mind. I'll explain you later on. Okay, so they will help the category 1. So similarly, category 2 will 3 or 4 will be appointed. So they will be helping these category 1, and category 1 merchant bank will be responsible for the entire process. Okay, so yeah, not that important, but just need to understand that. Okay, one organization will appoint one merchant bank, and that merchant bank will appoint other merchant banks to take care of some other processes. They will appoint underwriters who will be of Citibank. They will appoint the portfolio managers who will be of Goldman Sachs, like that. Okay, so these are the different categories. Now, these are some of the services which is provided by the merchant bankers, like project counseling. So they will be starting their project somewhere else. So how to raise capital, how to buy the land, whether to take loan or whether to go for an IPO, whether to float corporate bonds, what needs to be done in order to raise money. That counseling will be done by the merchant banks. So similarly, they will do the market survey, they'll do forecasting, the estimating amounts of funds required, okay, for project counseling, for any expansion. What is the fund required, how to raise fund from capital market, any new instruments can be used to raise the funds, okay, or and many other activities like mergers and acquisition, loan syndication, or technology tie-ups, anything which is related to finance or which can be held by the merchant banks. They provide these services. Okay, now I'll come to the main part of this, is issue management. Okay, till now we know that this merchant banks help in the issue management, the IPO and FPO, and how they do it. Okay, so there the issue management, the process of IPO is divided into 2. Okay, pre-issue activities, okay, and post-issue activities. So in pre-issue activities, again, the first step of issue management is they will do a tie-up with the investment bank, a company, okay, which our company was manufacturing leather articles. This company will do a tie-up with an investment bank. That is the first step in pre-issue activities. Okay. First step in pre-issue activities, they will sign a memorandum of understanding. Okay, generally you will be hearing this term, MOU. Okay, it stands for Memorandum of Understanding. What this basically is, they will, both the parties, one party is the company which is manufacturing leather articles, another party is investment banks or the merchant bank which will be handling the IPO related activities. So these two parties will be signing a document. That document will consist of what information the company will give to the merchant bank, and what help the merchant bank will provide to the company, and what will be the consideration, how much money the company will give to the merchant bank. So everything will be written in that. This generally will be prepared by the lawyers of the companies. So they will make clear, okay, what are the roles and responsibilities of the company, what are the roles and responsibilities of the merchant banks. And this will be as per the Companies Act 1956 or 2013. So there will be a memorandum of understanding between both the parties. Okay, any document or any deal between two companies, the first step is always a memorandum of understanding. Okay, suppose in our fest, in my college fest, we were getting some sponsorship, okay, from one of the big channel over there. Okay, so that channel and us, we both signed a memorandum of understanding that what we will be helping those channel for their visibility and what that channel will be doing for us. So both of us were deciding what we will be offering and what they will be offering, and what we will be giving and what they will be giving. Okay, so it's a kind of a contract. Okay, memorandum of understanding. That is the first step. Then second is obtaining appraisal note. Okay, appraisal. Yeah. Okay, appraisal note will consist of what the project is about, how much money is required, how much money will be brought in from outside, or any injection of capital is there, or what is the optimum capital structure, how much of debt, how much of equity, how much of preference shares will be there, what kind of rules and regulations will be there. There will be a meeting of board of directors, then there will be meeting of EGM, and what are the different aspects of securities, and whether the money will be brought in through NRIs or through FIIs, or whether the money will be collected from the banks, or anything related to money and capital structure. That will be decided, and then appraisal note will be prepared. Okay, so they will come to know, okay, now this much capital is required, this is the capital structure, okay, and how we will go about it, raising the capitals. Then third step is appointment of other intermediaries. Okay. These other intermediaries will be the who will be the issuer. Okay, just other intermediaries will be the registrar, the underwriters, and the lead managers. All these intermediaries will be there. They will be helping in the issue. They will be helping the merchant bankers in the issue, and depending upon their capability and capacity, different roles and responsibilities will be appointed for these underwriters. The intermediaries. Okay, and who will be the registrar to the issue, and who will be the underwriters. So all these intermediaries will be appointed, and then responsibilities of to the underwriters and the intermediaries will be given. Okay, how much is the underwriting obligation, how much is the what is the role of lead manager, and what are the different certificates need to be published, and all those things will be done here. Then finally, the preparation of prospectus. Okay, prospectus will be prepared basically by the lead manager in the merchant bank. Okay, lead manager will take care of everything in the prospectus. What is written in the prospectus is, I guess we have studied this in legal and business environment, but just what is written in the prospectus. Now you are bringing a private company to the public. Okay, so you need to make a draft in which information will be there. The information will consist of everything which is related to the company, starting from the name of the company, where the company is situated, which kind of business is there in the company, who are the customers, who are the suppliers, what are the future plans of the company, what is the financial strength of the company, what is the marketing capabilities of the company, what kinds of products they are manufacturing, or what kind of services they are providing, and in which business they are planning, and why they are raising this money. ठीक है, basically पैसा क्यों raise कर रहे हैं लोग, और what they are going to do with that money, and how much profit they are going to generate in the near future, and what is the price of the share they are offering. Okay, so and what are the lot size and all those things. So the prospect in that everything will be written in the prospectus, which is similar to your college prospectus which you have got. Okay, the brochure which you have got. So in the brochure of college, starting from the name of the college, which where it belongs, it's a JGI, it's under JGI. So who are the faculty members, what is the syllabus, what all things we do in these 2 years. Okay, and what kind of placement is there, what kind of training is there, and what finally what is the fees of that. So everything is written about the college once you are taking the admission. So once you are
Sir,
approaching a yeah.
sir, someone is waiting again, sir, outside.
Hey, how come इधर तो दिखता नहीं कुछ? अच्छा, who is waiting?
Sir, Sadika is waiting outside, sir.
They are getting automatically admitted. इसमें ऑटो एडमिट है. सो नहीं है. सारिका ना, सारिका तो है. सारिका देख, ठीक है, देखते हैं. ठीक है. सो किधर था मैं? हाँ, प्रोस्पेक्टस. सो इन automatic admit हो गया सारे का. ठीक है. So in prospectus everything which is related to the company will be mentioned. Then submission of the draft offer documents. This submission will be done to the SEBI. Okay, 25 copies will be there. Draft copies will be submitted to the SEBI, and after 21 days from the draft prospectus, the lead manager shall file the SEBI statement of the complaints received, and any amendments to be done, any changes to be done in the draft copy, and the other documentation process. Then a letter of offer will be submitted, and basically any documentation work will be carried out by the lead manager. Okay. Then afterwards, final process is the launching of publication. Okay, so they will go to the public, and they will prepare maybe an advertisement. Okay, they will publish in each and every newspaper. They will approach the brokers by saying this is a good company. Basically advertisement and marketing will be done of that company in order that majority of the public should buy the shares of the company. So everything will be done, and there will be a 2 to 3 day period, and there will be some certain amount of range of the price from, for example, 145 to 150 will be the price range. In that, any bidding will be done. Okay, just a overview. Okay, I'll go through it once again. Okay, in a short. Okay, those who have come now, just pay attention. Okay, so these are the pre-issue activities which is carried out by the merchant banks. Okay, merchant banks are taking care of the issue management. So these are the pre-issue activities which has been carried out by the merchant bank and by the lead managers who are working with the merchant bank. The lead managers will be carrying out these issues. Okay, so when the company wants to become a public limited company from private limited company, this is the process of IPO. The merchant banker will be helping that company. So first is the memorandum of understanding. The memorandum of understanding will be signed by both the parties, the company and the merchant bank. They will be signing this memorandum of understanding, stating what are their roles and responsibilities and what are both the parties are giving to each other. So after this memorandum of understanding is signed, then appraisal note will be prepared. In appraisal note, they will be defining the capital structure, how to raise the capital, what kind of capital will be there, debt kitna hoga, equity kitna hoga, preference capital kitna hoga, equity shares kitna hoga, how much shares we will ask for the subscription, how much the subscribed shares, the issued shares, outstanding shares, ये सब कैसे करेंगे हम लोग? All those things will be done, and then an appraisal note will be prepared. Then after that, appointment of intermediaries will be there. So who all will be helping in this IPO process? They will be appointed. Okay, like underwriters will be there, who will be the proper lead manager from the merchant bank. They will be there. Okay, okay, who will be the registrar of the issues, they will be there. So they will be appointing other intermediaries. Then the fourth point, they will be allocating the responsibilities. What are the responsibilities of lead manager about the underwriters? What are the registrar responsibilities of the registrar of the issue? So they will be appointing the responsibilities, allocating the responsibilities. Then finally, they will be preparing a prospectus. A prospectus will include everything about the company so that they can present it in the front of public, in the front of big, what do you say, HNIs, high net worth individuals. They will be producing this prospectus to other companies as well to buy the shares of this company in the process of IPO, during the process of IPO. So that prospectus will contain all the information about the companies, starting from customers to suppliers to products to capital structure to financial strength of the company. Then the sixth step will be the submission of draft offer documents. This entire process is not carried out by the company. Okay, this entire process is carried out by the merchant bank or the lead manager. Then the submission of draft offer document will be done by the lead manager. He will submit the draft copy to SEBI, 25 copies as per the rules and regulations. They will prepare the draft copy. They will submit it to SEBI, and any changes is there within 21 days. It should be done, and then finally the public issue will be launched. The launching of this public issue is when now Flipkart will consider that Flipkart is going to get public. Okay, so this process will be done with Flipkart, and during launching of the issue is before they launch the issue, they will do a good amount of advertisement of this company so that many people should subscribe to the issue. And they will buy the shares during the process of IPO. And so they will do the advertisement. They will convince the brokers. They will convince the HNIs, the other individuals to buy the issues. Why they will do that is, if you remember from legal and business environment subject, there was one thing in that when a company wants to become a public limited company, 90% of the shares during the IPO should be subscribed. Okay, if 90% of the shares are not subscribed, then that company cannot become a public limited company. Okay, again after 1 year, they need to apply for all these activities. Okay, so the rule is once shares are being floated in the IPO should be 90% or more subscribed. If it is not subscribed, they cannot become a public company. They cannot list their shares on the stock exchanges. So that's why this marketing is done by the investment banks or the merchant banks or the lead managers, so that 90% or more subscription should be carried out. Okay, so that's the reason the launching of public issue is very important, and marketing of that issue is very important. Okay, so once this pre-issue is done, okay, then there is a small thing of post-issue. Post-issue is just about the submission of the post-issue monitoring report as desired by SEBI. Okay, so they will present this report to the SEBI. What kind of allotment is there done? 90% subscription हुआ या नहीं हुआ है? उससे कम हुआ है तो क्या किया हम लोग ने? और else over subscription भी हो जाता है. More than 100% subscription हो जाता है. Okay, suppose 20 lakh shares is been floated in the IPO and people have bought maybe 25 lakhs of shares. So how this allotment will be done? Okay, suppose there are 4,000 people who have subscribed. 20 lakh shares are there. These 4,000 people have bought bidding hai na? So they have subscribed 25 lakhs of shares. So now company has 20 lakhs of shares. Now these 4,000 people have subscribed to 25 lakhs of shares. So they will be doing first come first basis or minimum bid, or they will be giving some shares to each and everyone. Okay, not all the shares. One person has bidded maybe 100 shares, so they will be giving him maybe 80 shares or 75 shares. Okay, so one person has bidded 50 shares, they will be giving him 45 or 48 shares. Okay, Okay, another person has bidded 2,000 shares, so they will be giving him 1,800 or 1,700 shares. So like that, they can be done. So 20 lakh shares will be divided like that, according to their subscription. That can be done, and finally, the shares will be allocated properly allocated to those people, and money will be collected and given to the company. This is the post-issue activities or post-issue obligations also. Okay, so starting from memorandum of association to allotment of securities to the shareholders and money to the company, the merchant banker will be running around everywhere. Okay, so that is the process of IPO. Okay, I have not gone into much detail. We'll be going into detail in the for the lectures. Okay, so this is the overall process. Okay, there are many things like who are the underwriters I have not yet explained. Their red herring prospectus is also there. Then prospectus, how those issue has been fixed. Okay, I've told you there will be a range 145 to 150 range will be there. So people will be bidding those prices. So how that range will be decided and how the bidding process happens. Some part of it is there in the syllabus. So we'll discuss it in the maybe in the next class. So as of now, these two slides are important: pre-issue activities and post-issues. Okay, quite interesting, important also. ये प्रोसेस कैसा होता है उसमें फ्रॉम मेनी डेज यू आर हियरिंग आईपीओ करके ये कैसे प्रोसेस होता है ऐसा होता है प्रोसेस ओके स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम दिस एंड अलॉटमेंट ओके सो एनी डाउट्स कैसे हो रहा है क्या हो रहा है Okay, first a company, they'll be approaching an investment bank. A MOU will be signed. Then investment bank will collect all the information, and then appraisal note will be done. Appraisal note will be prepared, and after appraisal note, they will be appointing some intermediaries. Then after intermediaries will be appointed, they will be allocating some responsibilities to those intermediaries. Responsibilities will be given to these intermediaries. Then after the responsibilities is given, then responsibilities is given, then they will prepare the prospectus, then offer document, and then launching of publication. Okay, so look, doubt? Yes, no? How many people are there? Solomon, any doubts? Vineet? Rupa?
No, sir.
Solomon.
No doubt.
Shall I explain any underwriters or lead managers, or we'll wind up for the day? ठीक है, ठीक है, then we'll wind up for the day. Yes. When you are leaving the meeting. Okay, so we'll meet next class, and next class probably I'll complete this module. Okay, because there are no much questions also. Okay, so that's it.